Hi there. So in this video I am looking at section 1.3, 1.4, specifically at how do you enter data, like you're seeing here in example 15 on the section 1.3, 1.4 notes. How do you enter data like this in your calculator so that it generates a scatter plot like you see here down below for yourself? And that it is a little bit more cumbersome in your calculator. I have calculator instructions for you online that are, that you can follow along with, but sometimes seeing it I know is helpful too. So let's do that in this video. So there's a couple of things that you want to do first off. So you want to go into your y equals and you want to turn your plots on. And so you do that by arrow up, so hit the up arrow key and hit enter on plot 1 so that it's highlighted now, okay? Alright, so that's one thing. Then I'm going to hit second mode and get out of there. The next thing I need to do is I need to turn my diagnostics on. So you hit second 0 and then you're going to hit your x to the -1 key, which is right below the green alpha key, which is it's 2 below the green alpha key, I should say. Hit that key. That gets you down to the D's. You want to turn your diagnostics on because that is going to tell you how well your model fits your data. Okay, and I'll explain that a little bit further, if not in this video, in the actual notes for the video, for the content itself. So hit enter on diagnostics on, hit enter again so that it says that it's done. Okay, so those two pieces there. This diagnostics on, you'll never have to do that step again because now that you have it on your calculator, the only way you'd have to turn it back on is if you go in and turn it off, which I don't know of many people that really go in and do that. And then, or if your batteries, if your calculator completely lost all power and you had to replace the batteries, okay, that might require you to turn them back on. Or if you did a complete, what's it called, a system, I forget what the calculator calls it, complete memory clear, then you would have to go back and do this. But otherwise, that's done, okay? So now what you're going to do is we're going to enter the data, and that's underneath the stat menu. And the stat menu is 2 over from the green alpha key, so you hit stat, hit enter on edit, and this is the menu where you actually enter your data. So in L1, I'm going to enter I'll show you here, just remind you, okay, here's my data. I've got years over here on the left and the population of Arizona on the right. So if I go back to my calculator, in L1, I'm going to be typing in those years. So I'm just typing in 2004, hit enter. 2005, hit enter. I'm just going to do that through that whole column until I get to 2009. 2009. Then you just hit your right arrow key, and that takes you to the top of L2's column. And now in L2, you're going to put in the population of Arizona. So it was 5.75 for 2004, and then just keep on down that column. So 5.96, 6.18, 6.35, 6.50, and 6.60. If you need to, pause the video so you can get all of that in your calculator. Alright, so once you've done that, I'm just going to hit second mode to clear out of there. I'm just going to hit clear one more time. Then I'm going to clear this down here. Alright, so now I'm going to hit, if I'm actually, at this point, I'm ready to run my diagnostic. I'm ready to find the linear regression. So I'm going to hit stat. This time I'm going to right arrow over to calculate. And number 4 is the linear regression. So I arrow down here to number 4 for linear regression. It's telling it, I put mine in L1 and L2, so most likely by default that's where yours are. So I'm just going to keep it in L1 and L2. I'm going to arrow down, and this is the step that you want to make sure that you do. You're going to store your regression equation in Y1, okay? So here's where I just arrow down. I'm going to hit the VARS key, and VARS is right beside the clear button. Okay, so you see clear is over here on the far right, towards the top. VARS is right beside it, so I'm going to hit the VARS button. I'm going to use my right arrow key and arrow over to YVARS. I'm going to hit enter on function. I'm going to hit enter on Y1. So that's telling me that I'm using these two lists, and I'm doing Y1. I'm going to store this equation in Y1, and then I'm just going to arrow down to calculate, and hit enter. This is now your linear function. You know, linear function y equals mx plus b. Your calculator just uses a instead of m, and it tells us, okay, well, in place of a, you're going to have this 17257 number, so we'll just round that to 0.173, and then your b is a negative 340.041. And then you'll notice it gives you an r-squared value and an r value. The r value tells you how well of a model you have, and the closer that this value is, absolute value of this number, the closer the absolute value of that number is to positive 1, then the best fit that it is. So 0.992 here is a really, really good fit, okay? So I will say this now, if you go back to y1, it took that equation that you just had, that you just saw there on your screen, and it put it into y equals. And now if we hit graph, at this moment you're not going to see anything. You're going to want to hit zoom 9. That puts you in a stat window. So these little boxes here represent the individual data points, and then that blue line represents your trend line that we just found. So you'll notice it doesn't go through all of the data points, it kind of shoots through the middle, which is a really good fit there, okay? So a really strong fit. So hopefully that helps you there with creating and talking you through the calculator steps. All right, let me know if you need anything. Thanks a lot. Bye.